What's up guys, Jim Kelly here from Heirs to the Outdoors. Today we're going to be talking about something near and dear to our heart, collars, specifically FOXPRO. All of us have run FOXPRO collars pretty much since the time we've gotten involved with predator hunting, and we're going to talk today about different types of collars all across the years that we've been doing this. We're going to start off with a brief summary of the collars themselves, the Hellfire, the CS24C, and the X2S, and then from there we're going to roll into some specifics. Okay, so the first collar we're going to talk about was one of my first collars ever. This is the Hellfire. The Hellfire was a great collar. This model in particular is actually pretty old. However, this thing has killed tons and tons and tons of critters. It was very basic and very simplistic call. In terms of features, it basically just had the bare necessities, but it definitely got the job done. And the bottom line is really that's what matters. These collars do come standard with the TX9 remote, which is a significantly smaller remote than what you're most are used to seeing today. And it also is relatively basic, but it has the essentials. It has volume, it has your mute, it has your availability to run external features and stuff like that. It does have 2 presets, but it doesn't have a lot of the other newer features that some of the FOXPRO collars have nowadays. But again, like I said, it did what it needed to do, and that's the ultimate, that's the main thing. The Hellfire comes standard with 75 sounds. In addition to that, you can purchase aftermarket ones and put those on as well. Besides that, it does have some other main basic features as well. There are things like the external speaker jack in the back. Also, it does have the auxiliary port that can be used for a decoy as well. And it does have your power switch in the back. Why would people care about the power switch? I'm sorry. One of the note features I would like to point out on this model compared to some of the others is the design in the back cap. The Hellfire and the CS24C are both designed in this fashion. Basically, in order to be able to install new calls or new sounds, it requires you to remove the 3 screws that are on the cap on the back. Remove that, and then from there you can then plug in and do your installation. Some of the newer models, such as the X2S for example, as I'll show you in the future, will not require that. There's simply a cap that pops open and it can plug right into there. Not that it's necessarily a flaw, it just takes a little bit longer and it's a little bit more of a detailed procedure. Overall, the Hellfire, in my opinion, is a warhorse. It's a basic collar, but it was a great collar of its time. It did exactly what it needed to do and it gets the job done. The next call we have on the list is the CS24C. Did you guys hear that? Thought I heard something. The next call we're going to talk about is the CS24C. Let's take a look at that one. So the next collar we have on the list is the CS24C. The CS24C was a phenomenal call for its time. I've used this call for a number of years, and it outperformed many of the different types I've used in the past before that. Great collar. Hands down, it's a very versatile collar too. It's very light, easy to carry, transportable. I always used a hook on the back of it to be able to clip it right onto my pants pocket and could just go right out into the field with it. It does have the battery pack on the side. Some of the features, it does have Fox Bang. It does have Fox Data. Unfortunately, it does not have Fox Fusion, which is, I think, a downfall of this call. If it did have that, that would be phenomenal. But it's just with the capabilities and limitations of the call, that's what it has. This collar comes factory. It utilizes 10 AA batteries. You can purchase separately a lithium-ion rechargeable battery pack. The one thing I can tell you about this is that you have to be very careful with the connectors on these. Over time, they will start to, from consistently plugging and unplugging, they will start to lose connection and cause issues there. Definitely experienced that in my past. But if you do use the AA's that are the non-rechargeable style, I do see that there's not nearly as much of an issue there with those type. As is similar with the X2S, the CS24 does have the TX1000 remote. It is a phenomenal remote. It has a lot of different capabilities. Unfortunately, not all of the capabilities of the remote are available with this particular collar. However, it does have some of them. The range and distance is there also too. That's another key note of this collar. Because of that fact that we have the TX1000 remote, the distance is significantly farther than its predecessor, the Hellfire. There was some limitations there with distance, and again, I attribute a majority of those to the fact that it ran a different remote. One of the key features of the TX1000 remote is the upgrade with the batteries. In its previous remotes, a lot of them utilize 9-volt batteries. Now they come standard with AA's, which are much more readily available and a lot easier to use. Highly recommend lithium-ion batteries. Or you can use rechargeables also, but lithium-ion batteries tend to be my go-to, and it gives the best effective range as far as distance. The TX1000 does also allow for presets. You can select numerous different calls, and at the time of the necessity, you can press that button and immediately go to that type of call. This is great for times where, if you have a coyote ripping across the field and you need to stop him immediately, or maybe even after the shot where you want to switch to something else and you don't necessarily want to use Fox Bang. These presets give you the capability to get that call immediately and instantly. I highly recommend them, and I use them frequently. All right, so now we're going to talk about the FOXPRO X2S. One of the most recent models in our collection. This one will by far outperform all of its previous predecessors by far. There's so many features about this collar that make it stand out from the rest. Anything from Bluetooth capabilities such as the built-in lithium-ion battery pack that comes standard with this model. Previous models required you to purchase that after. This comes with it from the factory. It has an adjustable knob on the back that the other models did not come with, the CS24 or the Hellfire, which enables you to basically adjust your level or your range of volume. You still adjust it locally on the remote as well, but this gives you further adjustment. Also, it has the ability to charge externally. Previous models like the Hellfire or the CS24C do not allow that, require you to remove the battery pack and plug it in. Over time, what this will do is it will eventually start to cause connection issues with your plug, and they've eliminated that problem with this model. Other items that it does still come with standard, similar to many of the other models, it does come with your speaker output for an auxiliary speaker, as all the models do, and it also comes with your output for your jack. You can run things like a external decoy, just as similar as all the other devices came with as well. One of the most unique features that the X2S has over some of the other models is the way that it mounts. It has so many different varieties and ways that it can be affixed, whether it's something as simple as setting it on the ground, it can be hung from a tree, it can be propped up against something. The pieces on the bottom allow it to be able to be moved in so many different directions and set up in so many different ways. It gives a lot of versatility. If you have a spot where you just don't have anything to hang it on, you can just literally set it on the ground, or if you do have that option to mount it up in a tree, for example, or a piece of a brush or something like that, it can be hooked up and connected into there to put it up. So that gives it a lot of variety and a lot of different options as far as locations where you can place your call. Sometimes this is really important depending on the type of setup we're trying to do, because if we want to put it in a certain location that doesn't allow us, this gives us that option that maybe we can put it there. The X2S comes standard with 100 sounds. It also comes with a free sound pack in addition to that. Above that, you can go and purchase sounds from any other vendor and or also FOXPRO to add the calls to your sound library. In addition to all the other features that this call comes with, it has Fox Bang, Fox Pitch, Fox Data, Fox Fusion, you name it, it's on this collar. It has everything. The options are limitless when it comes to the things that this call can do. For the price range, they are up there. They are towards the top end of the scale when it comes to calling and callers. However, I think they're well worth the investment. So if you're looking for the ultimate collar that has everything you could possibly ever want on it, by far the X2S is your collar. Thanks guys for checking out our reviews. We really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it gave you some insight as to the different features that the collars can have. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube.
Thanks for sticking around so long. If you enjoyed this content and you want to support our mission, head on over to airsoutdoors.com and check out our brand new apparel line. We'll be supporting a local business of ours, Venezzi's, and then all proceeds go to help our mentees and thus further our mission.